Bum, 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. Smoke him, hate him. Yeah, working on some undeady guys at the moment. This being the start of hopefully something a bit new. Just having a nice chilly AOS Warcry. Predominantly probably for Warcry to start with. It's a game I really want to get into, and then eventually Sigmar, like the full-on Age of Sigmar, once I've got enough stuff. I've painted a whole bunch of Undead before, but I want to really push contrast and things this time. Did all the Soul Wars start set and things like that, but I really want to push my contrast and details more this time around. So yeah, this guy's coming out nice, and I added his little crow buddy, which I think really balances the model nicely. So I'm on a bit earlier. I normally start at 8 each evening, but it's going to be pretty chilled tonight, so I thought I'd start a bit early on stream. So I'm trying to do the kind of non-metallic metal effect, but with metallics. What do you paint and play and stuff? Hello, Ross. Hi dear, matey. Yes, we're trying to get the fade from the dark to the light to the dark again. Just got Chaos Boy ready to kill team. Smeet. Which Chaos God? Yeah, Plague Marine. Oh, cool one, sweet. Ross, I'm good. Just off the shoe vampire in the corner shower. I've fallen in love with the prince. Yeah, there's some absolutely brilliant new stuff on the horizon. So Ross, I gave up on the starting. Yeah, man, some of the Slanesh stuff. It's just crying out for good conversions as well. Yeah, so Ross, I have abandoned the whole glowy blue sword because it just wasn't. I've been looking at it all day today and it's just not been gelling. So I'm going to weather the crap out of this sword and make it old, and then I think I'm going to try and do glowing green runes down the blade in kind of demon huntery styly from Warcraft, I guess. But the cloaks come out really nice. Super happy with how the cloaks come out. With the nutwork and the texturing. So that was definitely a bit of a success today, getting that cloak done. And these little faces looking nice as well. It's my wifey. Give me the black hearts. So Smug, how did you find the channel? Smug, did you just browsing through Twitch? Blend this in here. And here. It was useful to know how people kind of end up on the channel. Blend this out here. Into the tip hem. And then we'll bring in the rust brown here. Pretty much was just watching other dudes pretty chill. Yeah, it's getting there, baby. No. That's cool, Mark. It's nice. Like I say, it's nice to know where people kind of find the channel. Pretty new. Got a nice little group of regulars that come back. There was no big titty streamer in Warhammer. There's a Bulgar instead. Yep. Yeah. No big titties here unless you kind of count man boobs. So yeah, you get a bald guy with head tattoos instead. Bald and bearded. So I'm just trying to recreate that. Well, we normally see it with colours where it's light to light and then dark to light to light. I'm trying to recreate the same thing but with metallics instead. Make sure we dump some on now. And then wet blade, do a spit blend into the darker body. Yeah, non-Queen Alexis. Yeah, she's the one most people go to, innit? She's got that market. Got that market down pat. And then this will have an overall edge highlight around it, and then we'll do some rust and stuff. Right, now they go work on this side. We want the medium metallics. Dump this in between here. And then spit blend that out into the light. The darker areas. Matsuma! How you doing, man? Who's that? Smack him, thank you for the follow. It's much appreciated. Be lovely to have you here as one of the regulars. Oh, you give me a stretch. Lewis, how you doing, man? I will stretch in 1 second. Do this before while the paint's still wet. Bend these lines out. And I'll have a good stretch. Thank you for the stretch. Smack him. Oh. Crack the wrists. Have a slurp of tea. Lewis, not too bad, man. How's it going with you? Echo, how you doing, man? Thank you guys all for finding me. I'm on a little bit earlier tonight. There's a cup of tea with gold top milk in it, and it's the best thing ever. Good, good. I'm glad everyone is good. Hope everyone's had nice Saturdays. I'll drop my brush. It's going to be super chill tonight. No massive try-harding. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it, babes? But you started there. Yeah, no massive drama tonight. We're going to do a little bit more on this guy, and then we might crack out and start building some of these guys. See what kind of conversion-y bits we might be able to get away with. But this guy's coming out really nice. Anyone of you guys that was here last night, I've worked more on the cloak. Yeah, doing some of Skelly boys. Apparently there's no denying the call of the Greybeards. Reckon my better sister. Yep, kill them all, Ross. Kill them all. Yeah, so we've done some cloak, and I've had a big change of heart on the sword. We're not going for kind of glowy blue anymore. Because it wasn't working in my head. Sometimes you just got to listen to the inner voice that says, don't do it like that. Do it like these. At the moment we're just trying to get a nice fade in, fade out transition. Just try and fade this down the line. There's always one bit that ends up being a bitch, and it's going to be this bit, isn't it? Right, it needs to fade to the very tips there. Fade that brown into the silver. So we're using brown on this instead of black to give a kind of rusty feel. Yeah, we did have a design discussion about the sword. We're pretty mulling it over for like at least half hour in the pros and cons of sticking with the blue and trying to see if we can get ice effects. And in the end, we just knew it wasn't right. So the executive decision was to change it. To darken the middle of this bit. Bottom blade. So I'm just doing real rough spit blends. To keep things simple there. Pushing the paint into the middle each time. Maybe a thin green glaze. I could do. I think I'm going to try and do the runes first, so I can get them. I can use the whole width for the blade, so I can go for decent kind of size. I'm thinking maybe 3 runes in a glowy green, so almost a white inner core with the green edge. So at least it looks then still like an enchanted blade. Because it bugs me. I was saying to the missus, this is I guess this is where my head goes. So GW's whites, and they're nice stock paint jobs, and their blades are all normal silver, so they are just old weapons. You can see they're old, so that's all well and good. But then when you read the description, and I know this is all fantasy and stuff, but it very clearly says whites armed with glowing blades that can steal the life of a man. So I don't get that from that. Does anyone else see glowing blades at all? Nah. I think they shortchanged themselves on the effects there. I know it's a fantasy setting and all that, but there's got to be like a logic behind it. But these are old. This is an old box. I would have bought the Warcry set. These are just old ones that I've had knocking around. Most of the undead I've got are either been old here, knocking around, or been donated by, like, the almighty Unholy here and some friends and stuff. Right, that crossfade's working nicely now. You've got the highlights where they need to be. So now we can highlight the tops. We can bring out all the edges here. And then we know the blade's in the right kind of shape. Got a bright silver. But this is highlighting his crown as well. His crown should look really nice now. Super happy how that looks. Bring this down the edges to make them sharp edges. A weird little notchy bit at the top there. They've already probably got enough undead to play, to make a Warcry warband, but you know when you just think your paintings jumped a notch, and you look at your older stuff and go, oh, I could do it better than that. I guess I've kind of hit that, one of those levels. Let's give me a nice sharp edge. Actually, these ends are super shiny and reflective. You got enough to make everything. Not quite, babes. Not quite. I know you think I do. Hey, it worked. The mother-in-law has posted. Everyone say hi to the mother-in-law. She couldn't get to work last night. But now she's found the channels. Oh, well done, babes. Yeah, anyone new in chat that they feel like they might hang around for a while, you can, as you earn the currency, as you earn coins, you click the little SA button, you can customize your avatar. Trying to get this bloody reflection in the right place. It's getting there. It's a real pain trying to work with these super reflectives because they look fine in one light and then you shift them. And they change how they look. But that's close enough, I think. It gives us our general gradient anyway, without being a flat silver blade. So now we need some rust. We need a little bit of rust on there. And then the ruins. So I've got a rust orange here somewhere. Anybody the rust? I'm done with it. Blood. 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 Come here. Got a nice game effects rust. I tend to do two applications. One where we thin it down and gives it like a dull background rust, and then a sharper orange on the front. take some of it first and really thin it down a fair bit. And we'll stipple this into the areas we think are going to be rusty. So we'll just put some of the base here, where the rust is going to build up. Probably not a lot on the actual blade, as it's going to be relatively clean from stabbing people. A bit of rust on the handle. That should dry down to a nice decent rusty shade. And while we got the colour out, we'll put some on the chainmail as well. It's one of the next things I was going to do. And just stippling that down in there. Cheers, man. Drink some more of the lovely tea. Yes, just like a rusty bullet hole. Before anyone gets confused, so the redemption for christening the models, this guy has his name already. I know normally they got stickers, but this guy is already called Simon Quinlank. So the redemption for christening figures only counts if they haven't got a name already. So this guy unfortunately has already got a name. Just in case anyone was going to do that. Right, we'll get this rust nice and thin. And work it up into the chainmail. It's all up underneath these bits and in the deeper kind of creases of it. Try and keep it off the gold because that won't rust. Put some on the still keyring. That can rust. And little keys, and we'll probably give them a bit of a brown wash as well. Put some rust up in here. Up under the kind of pauldrony bits. Make sure we get the odd little bit that's out and about so we don't get too uniform. That's pretty good. Well, we've still got the shield to do. The shield is going to be predominantly silver. So while we got the metallics are out on the palette, so let's bosh that out. Dark silver, let's put that on first. It's already had a brown base, where I think it would be wood. Get the top trim. Definitely one of GW's more ornate shields, which is nice. Rarely seem to put kind of metal borders around them. And then get the steel handle as well. Let's attach there. Tiny bit in there. Right. And then all of this face. Yeah, we'll get the whole thing. Make sure the paint's nice and thin so we don't take any detail away. Being careful of the cloak. I really don't want to repaint any of that. Just let the brush slide down behind the cloak. So what's everyone working on? Anyone else painting on anything at the moment? Ross, you hobbying tonight? Gonna build that ghost arc. A bit of chainmail in there so we can dump a bit of silver in there. This just gives us our base metallic. You can bring that much to a much bigger. Halfway through a monolith, 3 ghost arc can wait for now. Echo's trying to do a stupid highlighting. Nice to see Nice to hear some of you guys are hobbying tonight. Smack is trying to convince himself not to buy a box of Chaos Space Marines. Yeah, give in to the, especially to the Chaos Gods. I mean, why would you not? Possible reason you have to deny yourself the pleasure of having new plastic. Because I got 20 minis waiting for me. Yeah, it just means you'll have a few more. What ones have you got waiting for you to do? What's on the bench at the moment? Okay, I think that's all the silver for there. Okay. Right, that rusty stuff would have dried by now, so let's make up another batch. We'll actually throw a little bit of dark brown in with that. This should be a bit more. What's you got? Two great possessed, 2 Chaos Obliterators from the starter box. Sweet. And these are all going to be corn, are they? I'm going to try and stipple this on to build texture up for the rust. Get some rust in there. That's definitely building up nicely there. And Chaos Talons. Oh yeah, the Talons are feckin' ace. I think they're actually one of my favourite Chaos sets. Always wanted the Chin Elephant. Thinking of mix of Renegade chapters. Yeah, especially Chaos. I mean, if there's any army that's ever going to give you kind of props for being a bit random, it's going to be Chaos now. Is it Raptors I'm thinking, or is it a Warp? Warp guys. They got loads of little fucking spiky lightning bolts all over them. What am I thinking of? Yeah. Well, can't just do your own variation. So have that red color, and then if you venture, the spiky ones. Yeah, if you venture into other bits, so if you do any Nurgles or Slaneshi or something, just have them build up from the red, so the red's still a common base tone. They look pretty sweet. Build the rust up at the bottom there as well. I mean, you can have a really disparate kind of force without completely having a fucking wild, wacky paint scheme. I do have a nice pink Terminator, which is excellent. Nothing like melee. Right, that's looking good. I think I'm going to make a super thin version, so I'm just going to do a few little patches of this on the blade. Just add that colour in. So we've got to make sure we pick up on the rust tones up the blade as well. Same with the armor in the areas where we already put some of the rust, going with this new lighter, more orange shade, I suppose. Some variation. Touch it here and there. That's what she said. Bump that in there like that. Think about the keys. I worked hard on the contrast for the gold. We still need to add some verdigris and stuff. Is that GW Rust or a random brown colour? It's where is it? No, it's Game Effects. So what's that? It is game stuff. It's Vallejo, isn't it? Yeah. So it's Vallejo. They do a whole range of these game effects. Spriggans. Yeah, Spriggans are arseholes. And I like this one. I think they do a Dark Rust as well, but they do a whole bunch of these effects. They do like these. They do like 2 bloods. They do a nice dried blood and a fresh blood. And they're all pretty good. So they do a whole bunch of... It's like their version of the GW Technicals, I guess. Well, I dare say it's probably about the same as GW Rust stuff. Oh, speaking of which, actually, let's thin that right down. Let's put some on the shield as well. Now that silver's dried. We want to make sure the shield's nice and rusty. We want the keys there. Paints do you use, Smuckin? Are you basically use mainly GW paints, or do you use other ones? Might put rust in all the little creases here. I want to make sure that's nice and rusty. GW Scale. Oh, okay, Scale. Yeah, I've got some of the Scale 75 stuff, but I don't know. It's weird. The gel-based medium that it's in just takes... Oh, your local dealer got Scale last year. I do like it. I mean, I love the matte finish of the Scale stuff. But I don't know if I could, like, use it as my sole collection. Just because that gel medium is just so weird to work with. Alright, let's get that in the eye socket in there. We kept a conscious design choice on this guy to keep all the colours warm. Yeah, I mean, I've got my rack's got GW colours, army colours, war paints, bit of everything really. These are still the best. If you've not used these, Smuckin, these are the best metallics in the market by far. I've used most metallics out there. These are bloody amazing. Super good. Well, said that way you can also defend spending more money on it. Yeah. And as soon as they've got them back in stock on Element, yeah, even for an airbrush, they're bloody awesome for an airbrush. They're just like when they go down properly, they are literally like liquid metal. They're fantastic. I do about, I think there's about 8 or 9. No, I mean not just. I mean I've put these on I've used them like off on a normal palette, wet palette. I've used them airbrush. I swear by them. I don't think I'd ever go back to a normal, what we would call a normal metallic anymore, which is annoying because I've got a whole bunch of them. We did this. Yeah, I'll show you this. I'm saying about different paint brands. So I've got a few more of these coming. This from Turbo Dork. These are color shift paints. So this goes through purple through yellow into green and stuff. We got some of this as a test, and I did this Necron. So we did a whole bunch of Necron skin. So you can see the colour shift in the skin tone on what's like the outer armour, and it came out super nice. It was a good experiment. We got the big guy to do. We're going to work on it on stream soon. You can see the effect even more on the bigger panels, but it looks the nuts. And that was a simple airbrush, just airbrush them all over. So black undercoat, airbrush with this. And then it's just edge highlight silver, and then we bung in the colours. And it's fucking super effective. I've got another couple of colours coming of this. Should hopefully come Tuesday, Wednesday. We've got this, so this is predominantly purple. This definitely ends up being more down this end of the spectrum. I've got a red to yellow coming, and what was the other one? I think the other one was predominantly green to yellow, so it has no purple in it. So I'm looking forward to playing with those. So that's basically what we've been doing on stream in the last couple of weeks. We worked on Necrons for a while, so we did them. Then we did some Marines. This was my favourite Marine. So he came out really nice. So as you can see, my chat names my stuff. So this was Chris and Big Jim Slippy Fist. This ended up being Bum Nugget Dick Blade. Chat can redeem their points and name the guys. So these are my 2 main 40k forces. But I really fancied oh yeah, my chat are the utmost of maturities. But the craving for fantasy didn't go away, so I wanted to... Seeing all the new Undead releases from GW made me want to do some proper Undead again. Lewis, your avatar's sick. You found a really good one. I like that little samurai robot thing. It's wicked. Right, I want to go with a nice bright rust orange. Touch this in. If you're into the whole community thing, Smuck, we've the channel's got a Discord and stuff. Let me throw the socials up. There's a whole bunch of links there to the Facebook page and all that kind of stuff. The YouTube's relatively new. I'm basically just putting across these live streams over to YouTube. But yeah, if you want to join us for future sessions, there's all the info and stuff. I'll get everyone to put, if you've got work in progress pictures or just pictures that you want to show off that you're proud of, you get people to throw them up in Discord, and at the end of each session we get them up on screen and have a look through. Quite happy to give feedback if people want feedback, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's developed into a nice little community so far. We've got all the right kind of nutters. Okay, that rust is starting to build up nicely now. Yep, that's it, good. It dawned on me earlier, I only realised that this bit here, which I thought was just like scrappy leather or something, is actually part of the cloak as it comes up and fastens around his neck. I didn't realise, that's why it's not been... I only did it in red today. I just didn't spot it. I need to make a super dark brown / black, just to put some edge around these keys because they just blend in at the moment. Let's break their edges up a bit. What level's your Skyrim dude now, Ross? How far you ploughed through? Lewis, did you manage to sort out all your Warhammer stuff in the end? Worked out what you got. It's better, slightly breaking them up. It's a bit easy to see that they're keys then. Let's put some real dark gack down there. Apologies, hiccup. Touch them in there as well. Push this all down to the bottom so we get some little dark bits down there. So some nice crappy colours down the end of the blade there. So it really starts to look like crappy rust. Yeah, it's a nice blade colour, that. Right, I really think I need to get the runes on there. So we'll get some white or off-white. Find some. What have we got up here? I'll go with this. So I need 3 distinct rune shapes. Take some white paint, thin it right down. So we've got good control over it. Nice and thin. Just keep adding water to it. That looks about right. So I want to do freehand, so it needs to be, yeah, it needs to be able to draw a nice straight line with it. So that's how much flow the paint needs. So we try and do some runes on this. I'm not sure on the shapes yet. Do like a moon shape. Then I think I'll do a more angular one. Like so. You're going back over them to make sure they stay vibrant, and then we'll do one more maybe. That gives us some rough runes. We can refine them further. Oh yeah, Lewis. Yeah, I noticed you started doing WoW. Yeah, you need to check out Bill's. You need to find his Twitch. Maybe you'd be able to join up in WoW. Saw your post on Facebook about it. Right, let's put some green on that. Let's break out the green fluor. So we'll try some of this. We'll try the fluorescent. This should kind of just act as a tint to the metallic, but it should make the white work pretty well. Hopefully, I'm going to take a couple of passes to do it. Just apply it over the white and the surrounding area. Ah, cheers, smoke. A bit rough at the moment. It will we'll refine this down a bit more. Just trying to really get a glowy appearance to these. So we're making sure the neon green goes over the surrounding area. Hopefully it should give us a bit of a glow. Right, we'll let that dry. You can already see it starting to give that kind of glowy appearance. Just wait for that layer to dry completely. But that's kind of what ended up in my mind. Rusty old blade, but these burning hot ethereal energy sigils. That's the plan anyway. It's probably done. Give it another coat. I don't want to go too thick with this because a lot of these fluo paints end up being quite lumpy. Presumably because they got much fat pigmentation in them or something. Okay. Now I'm going to add a touch of water, touch of glaze medium. Just to try and thin that neon out a bit. I can go over a bigger area. It's starting to really build up now. As with most of these, it's just a case of building up layers and making sure the previous layer is dry each time. Especially something where you can physically feel the grain. So we'll let that dry. We've got a little bottle here to do. Still got some of these keys. I'm still not happy with the chainmail as a whole. I think that needs a wash. Let's hit it with a bit of I'll go with a bit of umber wash on some of the chainmail. Just give it a bit of a brown tint. Some of it's a bit too shiny still. Yes, as I say every night, guys, anyone that's got anything they're working on or that they want to show off, make sure you throw it up in Discord in the work in progress bit or something. Near the end of the show, we'll have a look at what everyone's put in there. I'll do some volumetric shading on the breastplate here. So this new drive for these Undead is to try and really push the shading to up my contrast. So a lot of my older works have been a bit too light everywhere. So I want to try and push that. Okay, give the sword a go. Again, a touch of glaze medium, and with the fluo. The fluo looks like nothing when you put it across. You just about see that tin, but even there, you can see the pigment particles, which is why it's so important to do this gradually. Otherwise, it's just way too thick, and you actually get that grain on your painting. That's really starting to come out brightly now. Yeah, that's a really nice glow to that. I think I'll add the glow to the other side of the weapon, but without the symbols. I think the symbols only need to be on one side. Can add some of the some of the green haze. You'll notice there, I don't know if you can see it on the camera. So there's any texture already on the paint. So down here where the rust is stippled in, the little particles, the symbols, they're just something you count around them. No, it's literally just whatever they just popped into my head. I probably should have planned them out a bit better. It would have probably been better to use nice Dwemer ruins or something like that. So they were just something to see if the effect worked, really. It would have been quite nice to have had a much finer, flowy script. Cheers. It's certainly nice and bright, and that was the gist of it, so that's good. I actually quite like the way that this fluo is tinting the metallics. Actually, I don't know if you guys can get that tone. Looks like quite an unholy looking weapon, really, which is neat. I likes it. Yeah, that way you got a little bit of the green tone on the inside without the word of power that's going on there. See, now I'm really tempted to hit these gemstones again. I think I'm gonna. I wasn't gonna, but I am gonna. These gemstones need to be glowing as well. But learning from this, what I should have done here is done the ruins in a mid-grey first, and then inside the mid-grey with a hard white, just to soften that edge. I didn't do that. I'm going to try and do that with the gemstones. Go over mid-grey first, then a hard white. Knowing that the green tone is going to affect the grey slightly different. These were blue because the blade was originally blue. That ain't happening no more. Ain't no more blue blade. These are going to be the same fucking unholy green now. I know just what's going to finish that blade off in a second. Over the top of the green fluo, we're going to use some yellow fluo. Hopefully that should give us a really kind of sick blend. I'm going to inside of that with white. That'll be our kind of top glow spot. There as well. Like so. Right. Let's get this fluoro fin down again. Again, the surrounding area as well. Very Conan-esque colours. Yeah, I guess they are, I suppose. I would definitely want to keep an earthy tone for the undead themselves. Right, I want this to come out slightly with the colour. Okay, we'll let that dry. While the green dries, let's get the yellow. So we've got super fucking bright fluo yellow as well. We'll try and hit that over the green on the weapon and see how that comes out. I'm hoping it will highlight green in the same way kind of yellow highlights green and goes really, really ghosty kind of. Again, this needs to be built up several times. These act very much like glazes. That is a lovely, if you were doing Nurgle or something, that's a lovely kind of poisony, corrupted colour scheme. That's lovely. Let's put some of that over these. Brighten that up. This is good. This is good. Gives me an excuse to use my fluorescent paints as well. It's been after for a while. And Gemini's head is starting to really, really shine now. Okay, so this is now the mission is now to give me reasons to use fluoro paints on undead. So this is definitely the way forwards. As Mando would say, this is the way. Yeah. What's this gonna kill? I can't just pick the gems gone over it. Oh, okay. Oh, my cat's been dickheads. Yeah, I'm thinking a bit of OSL as well. I think it now definitely needs it. This is giving off such a kind of glowy vibe anyway. The thing is, these fluos are so translucent, transparent, you can easily create that kind of glow effect with them. Just building up in layers. So it'd be a semi kind of faked OSL because it wouldn't really catch in some of these lights, these angles. But let's overextend it to make it a bit more dramatic. Catch a bit of his face. If any luck, it should really bring the focal point back to his head as well. Yeah, it's magic light. I know it's magic light, but you have still got to kind of, in theory, still got to follow the laws of physics. But we can bend it slightly. I'm even gonna, I think, bring this sword. If there's any light coming off this sword, I think we'll have a little bit reflecting off of his breastplate here. If nothing else, it adds a lovely tone to the metal. Like so. He's wicked. Go back in for a second coat here. Make sure we get everyone in the surrounding area here. So you could do this with normal colours, no problem. But you'd have to make sure you thin them right down so you're glazing the underlying thing. It's just that these fluos already are a glaze. Oh, I'm really digging that on his face. That's looking feckin' awesome. See if I can get that. You guys see that? He's looking very cool. A bit more on the crown here. Yeah, that's looking fucking sweet. A little bit on these angled pieces here because I'd catch a bit of it. Right, just on the very inside, I'm gonna get. So he's got a very faint green light inside his skull. I'm gonna keep it super dark in there because I don't want to lose the contrast from the deep eye sockets, but I just want a little bit of green in there. You guys can just about see that on cam, I think. Deep in his eye sockets. A little bit of green light there. So when I did these guys, this is one of the earlier ones, I went way too over the top with the green. So they're filled with that internal energy, but it just washes out all the contrast around the bones. So the difference between these two are miles apart, and this is why I say I think I've made a jump with my painting level from this to this. So I 100% want to do some new undeads at this level. Yeah, less is definitely more, Smuck. Yeah, I did these guys a little while ago. And they came out lovely, and that was just a nice little subtle OSL. There was no fluos on these, but it's just subtle enough. And on the weapon as well. And it is 100% less is more. I mean, the gemstone glow came out really nice on those. I think it shows it nicely on this one, actually. On that one as well. On her hip here. It really came out cool. And she's got some reflected from here to here. That a bit of Will Smith. That's hot. But none of that used fluos. I really want to use these fluos for that extra punch kind of thing of the intensity of the colour. I've got a full set of them, so it seems silly not to try and use them. Right, I'm going to go over the green again. Again, I'll make sure I keep it thin. Let's get more on this gem here. Build up into the middle of the crystal again. Okay, cool. Let's get a little bit more on this breastplate. Just bring it up to this cross line here, just so you can see what I'm doing. I'm stopping here because I'm in my head. This is where the light's bouncing from. It's definitely there. Okay, cool. Yeah, the yellow's not doing much on top of that. Right, now I'm just going to see if I get a super fine tip and try and, yeah. Okay, fluorescent paint tastes like crap, everyone. Don't eat it. Let's see if I can get a little bit of white in amongst this to really give that kind of core effect. If possible at all. Keep my paint thin on this one. I want to leave a little bit of that outside edge. Just a real touch in the middle. There is a little bit on the outside there. It's not quite what I had in mind, but we can hit it with the. In fact, we hit that with the fluo yellow in a minute, which should react with the white. I'm trying to leave a little bit of the previous colour there. We've got the yellow one. That's definitely still nice and glowy. Okay, I can really now see this light edge here. So I need to just bring in a little bit more to make that OSL work from the sword. Second coat on that in a minute, and that'll be a little bit more believable now. But I think so far I am definitely digging his face and his little forehead gem. That is very fucking cool. Yeah, he looks nuts. Gold Simon and his trusty bird companion. Have some tea. Yeah, Hux, how you doing, man? No, that's brilliant, Smuck. If you think that, because that's obviously where everyone wants to be, you want to draw the attention to, and I think that does the job there. I think the head is definitely a drag, which is good. Let's do one last kind of OSL pass with the green. Some of these other areas. This is the glow that's coming off the sword. That's better. This really shows that then. Okay. Not bad, man. Got about 45 minutes before bedtime time. I always catch you at silly o'clock. The time difference is not good. I'm good, man. I have a pretty chilled Saturday. Just been working on this guy. Same dude as we were working on last night. But he's a bit different now. We got rid of the big glowy, like solid coloured sword. Now we've got this funky experiment, and we did his cloak as well. Added some detail to the bottom of that, which I'm pretty happy about. How was your day? Hope not too bad. Right, what details we got? So we just do this little pouch or bottle or whatever the hell that is. There's a weird skull down there. He needs picking up. The pole thing. We need to bring some details out on that shield. It's pretty bland. Ah, cheers, dude. So let's do. Somehow managed to get some brown paint on my bird, which is annoying. Give him a quick black wash. Pretty good. Went to fruit market and flower market. Fair and loony in this. So nice. But it's nice to be able to be preparing for something good, isn't it? Just get some black wash on the bird. This should hopefully pick up some of the feather detail a bit more as well on this. So if anyone's curious, the little birdie came from the COVID Cabal, how they call it, the Corvus Cabal set. But I didn't really want to waste the one kind of winged birdie that was in there. So my missus convinced me to have a go at trying to copy him with some of that Omimaru blue thermal plastic stuff. And it came out pretty damn good. Way better than I thought it was going to come out. So I assume I head off bed and go and head on Discord in the morning. I'm like, yeah, sweet. Cheers, Smuck. Thanks for finding us. Hopefully you come back. I'll say it'd be nice to have you regular. And yeah, just find us on Discord, man. And I'm on every night from 8 normally. So see you soon. Yeah, because yeah, if I was ever able to gain weight this holiday, a bit of time would happen. Come on, everyone's able to do that, mate. Lockdown's shown us that one. Right, well, I got the black wash out. I need to darken this here and here. Is the tones are too even, so I'm gonna bring the back of this fur darker. I need to darken some of the top of the cape. That way to build a better separation between this top section and this bottom section. I'm going to thin the black wash out to hit up here. I just want to darken the real details there and leave the general lighter tone. Yeah, like that. So you can see now that the top is much lighter and it darkens down as it goes down. No, bruv, I'm the same weight I was when I graduated high school in 1989. Well, I hope that stays. All the way through high school and college, I was the same weight. Then I found beer, and things caught up to me pretty rapid. You're in Taiwan. I thought the food out there was like crazy, like good to get you fat. Starting to shade in some of those deepest parts. Gives a little contrast from the front. Also build some in here. Get those shadows really dark. Which will make this glow even better. I was a scrawny little git, yeah. Absolutely loving how this fluo interacts with metallics. That really isn't showing it anywhere near as good in real life. Ross, we've got to look into this stuff on metallics. I'm thinking for the Necrons as well. This is fucking great. It's mostly pretty healthy foods. Oh, that's cool then. Dark around here. Lost some of the definition there between the blade and the handle. Go back and do these keys again. And again, pushing this, always thinking to push the contrast, so darkening edges where possible. Whenever there's transitions between two different volumes, push that in there. This is a black wash, so it's gonna fade out as it dries. Definitely push this back into there. I'm gonna get some of that up in there. And if I can, as a panel line between these plates. He was murdering part of a wedding bride, Jesus. Never had much impact really. Taiwan learned from the first SARS, but we were really aggressive from the start. So on a small island, smaller than the Netherlands, 4 million people crammed into basically 5 big cities. Less than 1,000 cases. Only 7 deaths, Jesus. Yeah, that's how you do it properly. Annoyingly, because we're over in the UK, we're on a small island as well. Like, we could have done it. We could have actually done it much better. But our government are shit, basically, so they fucked it up for all of us. That's super impressive, though. You dealt with that. Some black wash in the bits where the chainmail's fucked up. And again, where it would be shadowed by the plates above. So ship everyone. Yeah. It's not that, it's just mainly just sheer incompetence. And we're only like 90 miles from southern China, and it all started last lunar last year, hundreds of thousands of people traveling to and from China. Yep. What was that? Tannage! Tannage, how you doing, man? I thought you'd already followed. But thank you for the follow. And thank you for coming and finding us. Major holiday. How's things, Tannage? Dude, I was looking through your Instagram, Tannage. Some of your bloody painting is amazing, man. That weather, you've got a weathered space marine on there, all chipped to buggery, and it looks fucking brilliant. Super impressed. It's like, that's how you paint a space marine, man. It's like yours is one of those, it took 3 months, Jesus. Now, I can appreciate it took a time. But yours, This is the thing with social media, isn't it? It's so much wider for us all. We can see other works, and it's great for inspirations. But yours is a typical kind of account where I would see shit like that and then go, why should I bother doing mine anymore? Because they're just nowhere near as good. It can be really hard sometimes to not see it as a kind of, I'm not going to do it no more. I can't compete with that level of quality. Right, Birdie's looking better now. He looks a bit more black. Okay, what's next? We need to bring the keys back up. The metallics. I'm happy the chainmail is generally good. Is that an F in the chat here, Hooks? It has been very F in the chat. Okay, where am I at? Where am I at? Oh, what bloody colour do I do that stupid skull down there? I don't even know what it's meant to be. Some weird twirly baton he's got. I think this is a little potion bottle, so I want to paint that with some fluid in it, I think. Let's hit that with a grey, so I can see what I'm doing. Skyrim is indeed annoying at the start. What gift have you chosen? Did you go straight to the one that gives you the, you know, those three that are in the way? Can't help but find. Let's touch this in so I can see what that is. Okay, so we've got that bottle to paint. What's this? Thanks, Bess. I think we're all our own worst critics. I see a lot of stuff in others' paint that I wish I could do. It just takes a lot sometimes to look past that, don't it? You see something and just go, ah, fuck. Because there is some amazing stuff out there. Touch this in while I've got this paint on the thing. You're not a fan of it then, Hux. I really don't want to do that metallic because I don't think it would be. Let's go with a. Do I want to do a bone though? It might blend in with the bone. Oh, that's a real fucker. I've still got the picture here. Okay, so they do it gold. This is the bit I'm talking about. This stupid skull here. They do it gold. No. Let's go with copper. Let's do it with copper instead. I think everyone can do something you can't, and vice versa. Yeah, I guess. I think it's just, we just have to train ourselves, don't we, to think past that. And it's probably the same in every profession. If you're a dancer, you see other dancers that like almost one can make you give up. It's probably the same with sports people. How many people could freehand a cloak like that? It's not that hard, bubs. No, I gave it a fair shot. It's just not for me, I guess. Each game's not. Bethesda game. Is that Bethesda games as a whole, Eox, or is that just Skyrim? Like, what do you like with Fallouts and stuff? Do you like those? Ross, but it's alright once you're up a few levels. But as it doesn't seem to level the enemies as you go, danger bills. Yeah, either a piece. Yeah. Skyrim's always suffered with that. I guess there's something to be said for the whole level the world with you, but I prefer the fixed areas, or at least areas with a higher base level. Fallout New Vegas had that, where you could leave the area. It gave you complete freedom to go anywhere, and you could very quickly, within like 10 minutes of starting the game, walk into somewhere you just were never going to do, because it was just going to wipe his ass with you. I'm going to hit this with copper. It keeps the tone warm, and it differentiates that from other things. And we hit the little bar that it's on as well. Just don't even know what that's meant to be. So unless this guy's a part-time cheerleader, or majorette, whatever they are. Pop that colour in there. We'll wash that down. so it's not so weird. We'll push it right back into the shallows because I really don't know what that's meant to be there. It was an absolute battlefield fiend up through Battlefield 4. Oh, okay, yeah, you was an absolute Battlefield fiend. I love the old Battlefield games. I think it was 2. I think it might have been 2. Played to death with some friends online. It was one of the first games I really heavily played online co-op and loved it. We all had our different Battlefield roles and stuff. Yeah, fell in love with it. Right, so let's make up a super dark brown again. And we'll shade that dumbass. Skull on a pole. Plus started painting killed video games for me. Yeah. Earhawks, I've done the same at the moment. I'm really trying to push myself into the painting, doing the channel, the streams and all that kind of stuff. Since I've started streaming, which has forced me to paint basically at least 2 hours every day, I've got more done in the last month than I normally paint in about a year. Oh, cheers, Tanich. Yeah. It's got a nice glow to it now. Like a runic blade. We've put the same glow on his little chest light there, and the gem on his wrist. Yeah, there's nothing massively driving me to go back to video games either. I'm enjoying the paint. It's hard to spend an evening playing video games and feel like you haven't wasted an evening. Echo, I hate edge highlighting, especially when you have to do stuff. Yeah, edge highlighting is such a bitch. There's no real shortcut to it either. It's just one of those things. If you're going to do edge highlighting, it's just you're in for the long haul. do you Echo? Do you dark edge as well? Do you do the light edge highlighting and then do black lining as well? Well, tell me I'm not wrong, Ross. In all honesty, hand on your heart, there's nothing wrong with wasting an evening playing games. But tell me I'm wrong that you don't feel like you've wasted an evening if you just played games. I love gaming. I have nothing against gaming, but I've never really felt, unless I'm playing it as a social. So if I'm playing like Rocket League with a couple of friends, or back in the days when I used to play Halo, if you're playing it with a group of people, then I think you can write it off and say it's a social thing. You're getting the social benefit from it. I'm not wrong entirely. I know you get. I guess there's probably a bit of mental health benefit from it, but I don't know. I think if you've got the stuff and if you've got the skill to do any kind of creative release, it's better. Okay, that's better. Let's push it back into the shadows right there. Shade down the pole a bit more. Again, it's just what you can ration out you get yourself, I suppose. I've got a load of games I should finish. Should finish the FF7 remaster. I should finish bloody oh god damn it, God of War and stuff. I just no. Can't warrant spending an evening on it. So some of the shit I've done with the stream, like having to learn Premiere Pro and stuff, even if I spent hours and not actually accomplished anything, I'm learning a new skill. So it feels warranted. It feels like it was not been a waste of time. Yeah, there is something satisfying. It doesn't. I guess my gut feeling is that you have something to show at the end of it. Maybe you don't even need that. Maybe you just need that sense of satisfaction that you've done something. Yeah, but instead, plus with painting instead of video games, you have that tangible thing at the end. Yeah, that you can actually hold or play with or give it to a mate. Yeah, I mean, there definitely is something to be said for that. But it could be, even if you spent a whole evening kind of like planning stuff for painting or hobbying or doing army lists or something, I suppose. Building scenery and stuff. Like, do you not find a difference in evenings, Ross? If you spent a few hours doing something, be it making monolith, whatever, or spending an entire evening playing a computer, playing PlayStation, do you not feel that there's a difference in your reward feeling back in those endorphins? I think to me it's the only way I can kind of combat this big mountain of grey plastic. At least if I know I'm working on it to some degree, I don't feel guilty about it. That's fair dues. Bing, bing, bing. Okay, so that's a little skull done. So the only item really left unpainted now is this potion bottle. I don't want to add green liquid to it. Yeah, you doing your diamond arts. Yeah, my wife does like diamond art things, so you make like a big mosaic with little shiny gemstones. And it takes her as long to do that as it takes me to do models. And unless she gets a good sense of satisfaction out of that. What other fluos have I got actually? Ooh. I've got this one. I've got this magenta fluo. What do you reckon on the potion bottle? Should I have some kind of pinky liquid in there? The pinky potion. Pinky, or I've got, or it's like a disgusting orange. Well, I loved all the time I spent on Battlefield. I think, damn, how much music could I have made? How many t-shirts could I have designed? How many else? Yeah. And it's that. I think if you know you've got that, whatever it is, if you know you can do that at any point, and you are actively doing gaming as opposed to that, I think that's where it gets tricky. Yeah, I'm going to try the pink. I've not tried this colour before, I think. I'm going to try the pinky on the bottom of the bottle. So I want to pre-shade the bottom section of there. Let's use white to start with to build the base of it. So we'll do the bottom. This UV paint seems to only work really well on the white. Ferret, you can found us at last. You've done all your work, matey. Ready to chill and paint. To each their own, of course, but I always need to have some kind of creative further. Yeah, I can do it for a little bit, I guess, here, Hawks, but if I haven't done something creative in 1 or 2 days, I start to get really, not so much anxious, I guess like a level of frustration build up inside of me. How's your day been, Chris? Still working on Mr. Undead, dude. We made a few changes to him, as you can see from last night. Yeah, looked at the blue blade today in the kind of after a night of sleep and thinking about it, and I picked it up this morning, was looking at it, and I tried to do similar kind of ruins on the blue blade, and the more I fucked with it, the more I just didn't think the blue blade was right. So I dulled it right down to rusty metal, and then added this kind of green hex to it, and we greened up his gemstones, and he's definitely, this is right, this is the balance. So now we're just doing the little bottle, his little potion bottle. We're going to use the pink fluo to bring out whatever potion is inside that. Yeah. Yeah, try as much as I want to get away from that kind of green, that sick kind of green undead ectoplasmic glow. It's just the right colour at the end of the day. But like I showed the guys on stream, the difference between doing something and really focusing on contrast and this guy, difference is miles apart. It's huge. So all my undead now are going to be like this. Oh yeah, and check out the cloak, Chris. Did some nice kind of Celtic nutwork at the bottom. Textured the cloak. That's looking super nice. Alright folks, it's kitty feeding bed sleeping time. Alright, here Hugs. Thanks for popping in, man. Thanks for coming and saying hi. Right, let's hit this pink on the potion. Yeah, catch you next time, dude. Remember, always on the we're always on the Discord if you ever want to chat and stuff. Right, let's try this pink. I've not used this colour before. It's very, very fucking bright. I love it. It's like, this is actually like the other. This is like Ghostbusters slime. This colour. I'll do some on my nail so you can see it. I don't know if you guys can really see that. Like, not showing out, it's being overexposed, but that's proper like Ghostbusters slime. Oh wow. Okay, that needs to dry before the next layer, but that is super bright in there. Love it. I'm going to try and use these fluos in as much as I can now because I really like them. I wasn't sure about them to start with. I think you just need to plan for them and just put a little silver bottle top on. You know that'll be silver. It's the little cap of the bottle. Yeah, it is proper bubblegum pink. While I'm waiting on that to dry, I might as well pick out these keys. A bit of a highlight and jump out a bit more, and the ring. Just hit a bit at the top here. Cool, that's a bit clearer on the model now. It's exciting, there's not much to do now. It's getting there. I think the biggest single element so left to do really is the shield. It's hiding in there. Let's give the pink another coat. Actually, it still looks a bit wet. We'll wait on that. And then when the pink's done, I'm going to put a tiny little pale white line at the top of the potion bottle, and then a dark and shade it up. Give you guys some stars while I'm waiting for that to dry. I'm going to just catch stars. And then we'll prep a battle royale up. Looks like Chris is getting all the stars as usual. Gamma! I spy Gamma in his little mini tank. Oh, that pink's got to be dry by now. Another coat. God, it's so bright. I love it. It's super fucking bright. Right, everyone can have a scrap. Whoosh. Let's see who wins. Right, can I tint this? Yeah, I can. I can tint the fluo with white. That's great. And give me my top potion top line. I feel like the Nemesis dude from Resi Star. Yeah, you're getting all the stars. Who's going to win this one? The ferret's hiding in the corner. Get him. Oh, Matt's doing alright. Lewis is doing good. Matt's going to get the pickup. Yep. I think it might be between Matt and Lewis. Bit too bright, do you think? Alright, maybe I'll shade the bottom half of it, kind of thing. Just gonna put the little. I mean, it is pretty damn fucking bright. There's no doubt in that. Yeah, little bottle side highlight thing. Matt won it. Your eyes drawn to. Yeah, let me tone that down a touch, and I think it is a bit too. Where's my? Let's put some red on it. No, where's my Warlock purple? There we go. Already the first time you lost that, Chris. This is a bit of a softer pink. Maybe try this on the bottom. When that's dry, I'm gonna hit it with a red glaze. That should tone it down a bit. Yeah, I was literally just going to say I'm going to give it a quick glaze of red, yeah. It's a shame, because don't get me wrong, that pink is gorgeous. I think we might have to do something with that. Some bloody, some pink horrors and stuff. The little horrors would look awesome in that colour. That's super, super bright. I'll give it a glaze of red, and then I'll hit it with some blood for the blood god, actually, and I'll give it that. Or gloss it at the same time. That's just going to look like a good old-fashioned health potion now. Pink squig, yeah. Oh man, yeah, I need to do some fluorescent squigs. That'd be awesome. That's definitely going to happen. Load of pre-shading and then airbrushing with the fluos. That is definitely happening. Good shout, babes. That was a good call. A little highlight on that. Cool. Yeah, that's still bright, but hopefully not. This shouldn't be too bright now. Actually, looks like a kind of blood drop. Okay, let's fix the shield. Yeah, let's get the shield highlighted back up. What's this? Who did D&D? Yeah, most of us here, I think, Tanage. I've always been a bit more of a homebrew system, but I have played D&D as well. Did a lot of White Wolf stuff as well, the old storytelling system. Do a lot of that stuff. Right, I'll bring this up. Try not to lose too much of the rust we've put on there. Yeah, we played Veterans quite a bit, yeah. And the crazy homegrown system he was... Yeah, he's weird. The amount of work he put into them is crazy. I love a good homegrown system, though. Do you remember Paranoia? Paranoia, is that the one? Oh yeah, and his weird homebrews. Oh, we know plenty about his homebrews. Was Paranoia the one where you kind of had to kill yourself? Or something like that? Yeah, clones. I think that's that one, isn't it? I think Chris played that. Can you have that one, Ferret? Oh, damn it. Damn fucking paint's leaking everywhere. Oi oi! How's it going, Kiki? Kiki, look at my skeleton. He's all green and glowy now. Played a fair few games, can't remember the names of most of them. I'm sure it was you that told me about Paranoia. If that's the game I'm thinking of, where you have clones and everyone's out to kill you and stuff. I could have the wrong game completely. You had to, yeah, you had to backstab each other. Yeah, that is what I'm thinking of. I'm sure it is. So if it is that one, Tanich, I know of it. We never played the game. We were going to. I don't actually think we got around to doing it. Bringing up some of the hard points of the silver frame on the shield. Little spider details. Cool flames. Thin that paint right down to do some texture work on it. Tone it down again with another wash. Build some more texture up. Come on, you ran a great 40k off some of us at the club. My character was the best, literally just a con man who did fuck all except classify the age of a ship. A few paintings and killed the big bad with a defibrillator to the back of the head. Rogue Trader is good fun. Yeah, I played a couple of... It was one of the best fucking... It was one of the first campaigns I played Rogue Trader. I was a bloody psyker. I ever played the 40k game. Oh, it's great. I'm not on about Rogue Trader. I'm on about Inquisitor, whatever it was. Is that what it's called, Inquisitor? Was that the roleplay one? So then think got expanded into Rogue Trader. Tighten up these reflections on this. Like that. Just tighten them up a bit so they're brighter. Tips of these. Wow, 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 wow. It's looking the fucking nuts. Is that There's some little silvery fucking nails in there. Them little bastards. There's nothing else there. And we'll get those two little bits on his helmet. His crown hat. Two little studs. Make sure they're picked out. Look at the very bottom edge of his chainmail here. Make sure it's brighter than the bits above. Leading edges. On his knee. On his arm. Just focusing where the light would be reflecting mainly on the chainmail. This edge here. Are you happy with that? Still want to put the liquid line in the bottle. That's pretty good. Sharpen it a bit, there we go, and a little reflection at the bottom here. Yep, spot on. This little bottle looks pretty good now. Crows have yellow beaks? I can't remember. Like bird beaks, or are they black beaks as well? Do they have yellow eyes? I think they do. What isn't black on a crow, basically? No. Is everything black on a crow? Black beak, okay. I just wonder if there's anything else I need to pick out on the crow that isn't black. Oh, is it blackbirds that have yellow beak? Oh, okay. I knew there was a bird that had yellow beak. Couldn't remember which one. Okay, all black, so they don't even have yellow eyes or nothing. Then he shall stay as just a shadow. I'll blackwash his shield because I'm not happy that it's got enough contrast there. Oh, well done, cheers, bud. Could have googled it as well. I just thought I thought I'd ask chat first. Blackwash this metal down. You can always do different highlights for the beak and feathers. I could do. This is like a little press mold of one of the GW parts. So the feather details are really pretty skinny. So it's almost to my benefit that it stays a bit shadowed. I don't know if you can see it on cam. Just about make out there's some feathers in there. Crow has a white face with vertical black lines in the eyes. Okay. Crow has a white face. Are you twat? I just figured what you meant, you fucking muppet. Get me going then. Yeah, I could do shiny eyes. I don't know how much you'd see, but I can actually make out his eyeballs, so. Yeah, the crow. You're a tard. Crow definitely needs a fucking matte. He's still got shiny primer on him somehow. He's a matte varnish. I'll do that now before I forget it. And matte the crow down. He's a bit shiny. Sorry, I bumped the thing. A mixture of some shiny, some not shiny bits. Yeah, Murder of Crows. It's such a cool name, isn't it? I was trying to look online to see if I could find any good crows to add to like more models, but there's nothing really out there. These are the best ones I seem to have seen. These are the two from the Warcry gang. If you only see two as an attempted murder, yeah. So I'm just hitting this guy with a matte varnish. Just want to take down any shine it's on him already. I think because he's a resin copy cast, he's still a bit of shininess on him. I had that in mind, the Zombicide one. I don't know how easy it is to separate them out and how kind of what size they are. Matt, you still in there? You gave away with Zombicide stuff, didn't you? Because didn't you get extras of the crow flocks and stuff? They're all joined together by the wings, I think, aren't they? I thought you did, yeah. Can you remember if they were any good, the crows? I know they were in like a little flock thing. Or a little murder, as we now know. I'm trying to get in amongst all this lot. Okay, that should dry a bit better. Oh, Ross, I don't know where you found. I was going to ask you actually. You found bloody that Sepultura guard thingy for 15 quid, didn't you? I couldn't find it on eBay at all. Cheapest one I could find on eBay was 50 quid. Matt probably would need to tidy bits up in order to have a single one. Some can be separated with minimal damage from what I can see. They sell them as a separate pack, I think, Gummer. On well, they were. I think they were an expansion for Zombicide. The flock of the crows. It was crows and roadblocks or something. If I can find them cheap, I might get some. So I want to add more crows to these guys as I build the army. I'm happy with that. That shields much now. Let's see if I grab Roman Chaos opens as I donate them. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So they're at Chaos. Echo brush cleaning, I use this, and I swear by it. There's a couple of other brands out there, but and they all seem to be roughly the same. But 100% these are worthwhile doing. Like it's like about 15 quid investment once you buy one of these, but they'll last for a long, long time if you're not using one already. I might as well do it because it could do with a clean anyway. Wet brush, get some water on top of the soap, a couple of dabs of water, and then just circle the blade then. Circle the brush until you get a nice lather on the brush. I'll work it in. And I tend to use palm of your hand. Use the crease that's there. Agitate it in the crease and then pull it through the crease, twisting it. So that'll pull the soap out the bristles and hopefully drag anything out the ferrule that's there. Again, just give it an agitate, drag it, and pull it through the crease of your hand. Give the brush more water, more liquid if you need to. And again, bring it through. Use that crease to shape it. Rinse off all the remaining crap. and then just shape it to a point, and you have a nice clean brush. And you can leave the if you've got brushes that are a little bit misshapen, you can leave that soap in them overnight, so they kind of dry with the soap in the bristles. Shape it first, but if they've got if they've got soap residue inside, next day they'll be relatively stiff, but it will hold the shape a bit better once you wash it. What about doing a small highlight on the cloak where the side of the shield would be? Oh, I see. What, pushing through? You mean here, kind of here-ish in the form. I could do, but it's bare. It's actually bare. I suppose it is kind of bulging a touch along there. No problem, Mecca. But yeah, let's say invest in one. They're 10-15 quid, I think, on Amazon. They're relatively straightforward to get hold of. There may even be cheaper ones out there, but once you buy one, if you've got dead brushes, if you've got through brushes and you've kept them, it can bring them back to life really well. It does a really good job of it. Alright, Tanage, take it easy, man. And catch you soon. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can bring the highlight line down and then do the scuff cruddle. Where's my stupid reds and stuff? I think it was Wild Rider and some flesh shade yellow. That's more of a darker. Let's go for Nephew Red. I can't remember what I am. See how it looks, Gamma. Now you're dead right. There's the geometric push there for certain, but I'm going to go too overboard because I want to make it look like it's all highlighted. I definitely going to squeeze a bit more of the form in there. Do this nice and slow. I don't want to fuck up anything. So yeah, so this pushes through around about here. There's a line here, through to about there. And just build up some volume with some squishy scratches. Come a bit lighter than that. Yeah, looks good. Come on, well done. Thanks, matey. Well spotted. Yeah, this gives the form, gives the cloak a bit more form. Where's my brown? There it is. Well, I'm done. Well done, Matty. Getting the matey. Well, everything done. Dark line the lot. Shadowed in. Counter the light. cloak looks up makes me embarrassed. Don't be silly, Echo. Bear in mind I've spent a good 4 bloody hours at least on that this morning. This fucking cloak. A lot of fucking around with it. And that freehand is not that neat. You can see it's pretty irregular with the shapes. I tried to plan it out, but on a bumpy cloak, it's just a real pain. Touch of black in there, ain't it? No, just airbrush and built, leaves to dry before I go to. Okay, cool. Get in there, dude. Pull that. Susu372, thank you for the follow. How you doing? Hope you're all good. Straight away with the stretch. I shall have a stretch, and I actually haven't had to get up and stretch for a minute. Oh, I will get up and actually stretch out. Oh. Thank you for the stretch reminder. How has your Saturday been? Hopefully nice and chilled. We're having a pretty relaxing one this evening. We're just working on this little skelly. It's coming out nice with his glowy rune blade. Now it's time to clean up the airbrush. That's what I said, mate. You need a pot where you can just dump it all in. Saves lots of dicking around. I'm trying some texture into these shadows, actually. So the shadows just aren't just all on the highlight. Okay, cool. What do you reckon, Gamma? That's the kind of shape, isn't it? Where it's pushing out from the shield. I think that looks pretty good. Well done. Thank you all for spotting that. Cheers, dude. There's actually a lump here. Can't tell if it's just a mould line or what. Might do the same thing there, actually. And then it will mirror the shape then as well, a little bit. If anyone's not sure what I'm doing, I'm shading by using kind of cross hatching. Or squishy scratches as I call them. So that when you look at it, you kind of get the impression of scuffed or fucked up fabric. Cool. Yeah, that's not quite as extreme, that highlight, because it doesn't stick out so much. I think it's the top anyway. I'll just touch it at the top there. Right. That's it, I'm not fucking around with the cloak anymore. Don't want to fuck it up. Don't want to ruin what I've done. Right, I think I need this fur kind of texture needs to come up a touch more as I'm trying to focus on pushing contrast. Let's see what kind of grey I've got on this. I'll take the area up where his shoulders are up to slightly lighter highlight. So the volume of the shape then comes up to the top. Better. Just catch the very tips of these ones down here. That's better. We've already got the nice dark shading here to give us different like edge. The shading's a bit smooth and it's a bit rough and ready though. Now I'm looking at it. A bit more red tone into there. That's better. And when you paint the model, it's a constant process of adjustment sometimes. When you see things you don't like. That's a bit better, that's a step now. Shade up into those shadows a bit. Too severe. It's a bit smoother. Gummy, you working on anything at the moment? Can't remember what you said you were painting the other night. I really must leave the cloak alone now. Stop! Still recovering. Any better at all, mate? Knackered, all I've done is go to Tesco and cook dinner. It's going to take you a while to recover, innit? I can't remember. Are you living with other compassionate human beings that can help you with stuff? I can't actually remember your situation. Just mottling in that back side of the cloak. A little bit. In fact, this is a bit rough as well. Mottle some of this. Being able to sleep, eat and drink makes a difference. Yeah, fuck yeah. Susu, you've got a your little avatar is very much made of Play-Doh. Yeah, my wife's taking care of it. Oh good, you have got a significant person to help you with stuff. That's good. Good to know, man. Sleeping upright on the sofa. Yeah, my missus not that long back really. She fucked her back up badly, and that was a good fortnight of her sleeping sitting upright on the sofa. It was the only way she'd get any sleep at all, and it was fucking horrendous. I don't know, I'd wish that on anyone. And in here, there's some tatty leather underneath this. It needs at least a little a half light of browny brown-ish. Kind of dusky brown, just throwing a rough edge highlight on that. So we got a hint of brown at least. So it's not just plain black. Yeah, I can imagine the novelty of them Having to sleep upright would be pretty short-lived. That's better. At least there's a hint of brown there then. So it's not just black. Okay. The little copper rod at the back there. Let's get a bit more copper back on the brush. Now we wash the fuck out of it. Just give it a little highlight. Let's make it a bit more interesting. Yep. Get used to it, I guess. His little baton hiding away in his robes. Okay, I'm really happy that actually the shield is a really nice dull battered metal now, which is perfect. All I'm going to do with that is a very top, very top edge that's exposed at the moment. Just going to give it a little highlight, just as it would be catching the light. Even when fucked up, it would still be a bit shiny. That's better. Just catches the light nicely, huh? Same with this. We get the downward angle bit as well. Handle. I'm going to get the edge of the blade again. Some of that fluo is going to cover that up. Tips of the sword. Hit me too when that's the only way. Cool. Happy with the sword there. A bit this fucking stupid jump out as the handle of the bottle is super shiny and it shouldn't be. Well, just dulls it down a little bit. Some sleep is better than none sleep. Yeah, doesn't matter what the fuck's wrong with you. If you can't sleep, you can't heal. He's pretty much done. We just need to fuck with his base a little bit now. Add some tufty bits to it. And I think he is done. Maybe one final little highlight on his shoulders. Just that very topmost bright. If I can get a brighter grey going, there we go. It's very topmost. Yep, sweet. Excellent contrast then from the front, a proper gradient between the bottom of the fur and the top. Yeah, he looks the fucking nuts. Right, I think it's time we had a look at Discord. Then we'll call it a night for tonight. I'm going to finish this base in the morning, But I'll take some pucker pictures and put them up on Discord for anyone to see. Because I think some of this glow is being lost a little bit on the webcam. And you're gonna show up better in still pictures. But yeah. Not ain't bad. We did him over what, 2 nights mainly? I did some hours this morning on the cloak. Once again, Gummer, thanks for that. That actually makes a big difference having that swoop in there. Makes a lot of sense. But yeah, it's cool. Very cool. Right, let's switch over to Discord to see anyone that's worked on anything or getting the show off. Throw up in Discord quick. And we'll put them up on cam. Let's get it opening. Bring it in, bring it out. Right, let's have a look. Let's throw this over here. Adds extra colour volume. Yeah, the volume I think is the most important thing there. As I'm trying to define things by shading as much as I can. That was a good shout, Gummer. I need to look better when I first start a model. I need to assess the volumes more. Definitely something I need to learn. Right, let's switch you guys over. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. So we'll start off in general, see if anyone's going to say. Tig's got some new artistic stuff, which is cool. It was very earlier, was twitching and working at the same time. Kiki did another picture of a cat, which is lovely. And then in the whip, what have we got in here? Anyone? Okay, cool. We've got some bits. So this was last night, I think. Yeah. So that's why I was working on the cloak earlier today. It's way behind. Gambit did some cool things with some weathering on the bottom of his cloaks. And then Matt, these are the arms that Matt was working on for his Gumbler. All custom spray by himself. Right, Echo. So they've done so far. Not happy with the edge highlight. But I can't do better or the colour is wrong. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the. Where's the original? Let's get some proper resolution on this. I do like the Zenithia White to get a better understanding of volumes. Even take a picture of the photo with a negative. Yeah, see, this guy did a Zenithia, or did him right up to white. Okay, these look great. I mean, the edge highlights on the legs and stuff look really good. This is all good. It all looks pretty much in the right place. If you're worried at all about the thickness of your lines, it looks like you've got just mostly just a base color here. So put your edge highlights on, then go back to your base color, and then just chip away at the lines if you want to make them skinnier. You can do it that way around. If you're going to dark line like you've done here, you've got shade lines as well. If you're going to do that, that also can kind of cut into your edge highlights to neaten them up somewhat. But these look pretty good, man. I don't see much wrong with these at all. You missed your feetsies one here. You need to do your feet highlights here. And I tend to now put an edge highlight around this rim here on feet because it's a hard upwards facing corner. I tend to put that up. I can't see if you have or not, but on the lower parts of the legs, on the back side, I can understand why you wouldn't do this side here. If you want to make them skinnier, make sure you have a good consistency to paint. Very light brush paint. Yeah, consistency is definitely the first thing. Make sure that paint's thin enough that you can draw a nice sharp line out on your nail or something before you attempt to do it on the model. If it's thick on the model, then it will start to kind of clump up, and chances are your brush will kind of skip, which is probably what's happened kind of here. And then it's just brush control, which you'll get by practice. But yeah, always remember you're looking for those upward facing edges. So on the back of the legs here, quite often the top, the arc as it comes round, will end up quite sky facing. So you could quite often add an edge highlight on the back of this lump here. But like I've said before in the evenings as well, don't let physics don't let physics make you your bitch. If you feel like adding edge highlights at the bottom here it works, then add that as well. Sometimes just adding visual interest can make it better. In this case, you can also glaze your mid-red colour over them to tone them back down. Yeah. Yeah, if you feel they're too harsh, you can glaze them. You can smooth out edges and stuff. I think the main thing would be using your whatever your flat tone here is to kind of chip away if you want to make them skinnier. So you're almost doing it in like a subtractive mode. But honestly, that doesn't look too bad, man. I think once you like I say maybe a little bit tidying up, and then you maybe wash some of these metallics. That's good. I mean, look at it from that distance. They look nice. I mean, any model is going to be a bit ropey sometimes when you zoom in. They look good. I like the colour. Oh, the camera's helped me out here as well. So, and then this is Matt's Gunpla. It's looking fucking neat, Matt. I love all these blues. And you're right, the green gem just really sparks it. Don't look it big. I want to see it big. Come on, load up. This is going to be massive, massive. It's fucking huge! But yeah, what the fuck? It's looking sweet, and these royal blues, like this is almost like a navy and like a royal blue, a pale blue. They're lovely with the gold. This gold is really nice with it. Yeah, it looks wicked. And these green gem inserts look really cool as well. Also, don't judge until it's done. Sometimes the model can be disheartening and look shit until it's done. Including the base. Yep. Yeah. Every model, it doesn't matter if you're a fucking professional painter, every model goes through a phase where it looks a bit shitty. Just push through it, keep going. By the time you've added details and all the rest of it, it looks great. I love this colour, man. This dark silver is so nice. Like a proper grey, like a gunmetal, it's lovely. Very fucking cool. Ferret Space Wolves. The man is renowned for his neat painting. Look at that yellow. Look how clean that yellow is. Chris, they look great as usual, mate. Really nice. You must have a picture of all your stuff. Like you must have put it all together. Your shoulder pads are great as well. I love this inner line here. This silver line here is not very common. Or is that just very much a Wolfie thing? It's cool. Almost all these guys need to work on the knife grips and their transfers. That's cool, man. Have you missed his shoulder, his knee pad here though? Isn't that not meant to be half yellow or something? Or red? Don't know where he is. Very good, people. Very, very good. Thank you for posting up your whips. So we can have a look at them. Close that down. Only if you want it to be. Only if you want to. Did you forget it, or is it just something that you consciously not changed yet? They always look good anyway, Chris. Like I say, your stuff's always so fucking neat. Always looks nuts. Right, peeps, I'm going to call it for tonight. I'm going to go and make another nice big fat mug cup of tea with some nice gold top milk, the way it's meant to be made. I've chosen not to do it. It doesn't match the squad marking, fair enough. Yep, I'm going to come down and make some tea. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. Thanks for keeping me company. I'll be back on tomorrow. Normal time, if not a touch earlier. I'm going to try and assemble some more Undead in the day, so we can crack on, because I'm digging the Undead at the moment. I don't want to switch back to Necrons yet. I'm going to be painting some more skellies, so if you're up for that, come join me. Come chat. Stay awesome tomorrow, and have a nice, lazy Sunday. Night, everyone. Come on, I hope you feel better, mate. And I'll see you soon.